All right, my people. So today we have dating as a single mom. This video is by Caitlin Martini. I hope I said that right. Dating as a single mom, though. So let's get right to the video. It's a few minutes long, so I'm gonna try to let it play all the way through. No promises. I'm gonna try to let her get her thoughts off and see what she has to say, and then I'm gonna get my thoughts off. So let's get right to it, man.
Recently got broken up with, and I kind of alluded to it in one of my videos because I'm a content creator. I share my life, so obviously I was posting about my relationship, and like this isn't something I was gonna speak directly about at all, honestly, because I'm obviously a little hurt by it, but I'm also a mom and life goes on. But somebody commented something on one of my videos, on several of my videos actually. It was obviously a fake page. So now I want to speak on it. Specifically, I want to speak on dating as a single mother and the standards that you should have and that you should never settle. And because I choose to share my life on social media, means that I'm sharing the ups and downs. And unfortunately, when you're dating and trying to find somebody to eventually marry, because I do date to marry, I want to be married one day and I want to have a family, you're going to go through heartbreak. Some relationships are going to work out, some aren't. So I choose to be in a relationship with somebody, whether it works out or not. It's a chapter in my life and I'm thankful for it because it comes with growth at the end of the day. And this person commented something like, oh, I wonder if it's her, the reason why the relationships fail. If it's me, if it's not, it doesn't matter. The only thing that I look at in these situations is that the relationship was not for me or for my son, because I cannot just date for myself. I also have to date with my son in mind because I have him 24/7. I am his primary parent, I'm his primary caretaker, and that's a lot of responsibility for a man to take on. So, one, I have to be very selective in who I date. And two, the person I date has to also be prepared for, if we take this relationship a step forward, are you prepared for the responsibilities that come with being with me? I don't necessarily think that somebody has to be at fault or something has to be wrong with a person just because a relationship doesn't work out. I don't believe that at all, because you're seeing if somebody is going to be for you or not. And if you decide to date somebody who ends up not being for you, that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you at all. Dating is a journey and is a process, and I would say 10 times more serious when you have a child, and also harder when you have a child. Not impossible, but harder. I made a YouTube video about this actually, and I am super open to dating, obviously, because, like I said, I want a family and I want to have more kids. But it's really important that you find the right person and find a person that's going to choose you and your child and everything that comes with that. And it's not for everybody, and that's okay. You're not supposed to be for everybody. And just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you at all. So y'all will probably see me dating again eventually. I'm obviously not ready right now, but I'm never gonna not be open to dating because I know what I want in life. And I'm still gonna share that with y'all because, one, it's my job, and two, I love to share my life. It's what I do for a living.
Okay. So she said a lot there. Now try to address it from the beginning, right? So this woman, single mom, like a lot of women out there, and the first thing I will say, it's probably best for a lot of you women, if you're not being physically or mentally abused, to work it out with your baby father, right? Work it out with your baby father, because this is not what you want to be right here. Dating, trying to raise your child at the same time, not being able to accurately vet a man, gaining all of these bodies, because what she's saying right now is basically that she's okay with continuing to rack up bodies and keep having these experiences with guys that might not be there long term. And to me, it's just, I hate to see women going through that stuff, because it's a never ending cycle, especially if you're talking about don't settle. you know where your standards at as a woman. Like, women usually have unrealistic standards for themselves, especially women that have kids. They think that the perfect situation, the guy with no kids, or maybe he does have a kid, and he's gonna come in and want to take care of her and her kid and do everything the way that she wants it to be. It's not gonna work out good for you in the long run. You're gonna grow up and be old and lonely. Women need to learn to make adjustments to be able to fit in a man's life. You got to be able to make the proper adjustments, especially if you already have kids, man. If you already had kids, you have to um and it's not necessarily settling. Everybody settles in some way or form, but it's like, if she's talking about money wise, or if she's talking about looks wise, like, I'm not saying go get somebody that you're not attracted to, but you gotta learn to vet men properly before you just start dating them and before you give them your body. I always say women fall in love with what they hear, and you got to start watching a man's actions, seeing what he does in his life. Does he have a good relationship with his parents? And also, you got to be a good woman, a woman that deserves to have a good man. You can't just be out here continuously dating different guys, spreading yourself thin, and because every time, each different experience a woman has, she's gonna be more unlikely to pair bond. Like, guys have been saying this for years and years, right? But there's actually studies behind it that actually prove that is true, because when you look at the numbers, just looking at the numbers and the statistics, after a woman has experienced what is it, I think like over like 5 or 7 guys sexually, her odds of having a happy marriage go down drastically. It's only like, she only has like a 20% chance, and the more experiences she has with men, the lower her chances get of having a happy marriage. My advice for her would be to continue to do what you're doing, but don't be so quick to just date guys. Vet guys appropriately. Take care of your child, but like I said, the best option would be for her to fix things with her baby father. That's gonna be the only guy that's gonna um, be able to fully invest himself into you and your kid without putting himself at a disadvantage, because that's the thing, right? A woman with a child, she is a package deal. You got to be able to accept the child too, right? That's just what it is. You got to be able to accept the child, and a lot of men don't feel like that's a good deal, because he does one wrong thing. What does a woman say? Oh, you're not their father. You're not their father, so I'm just gonna take them away from you, because guys, we love hard, man. We love hard, especially when it comes to kids. A kid comes into a guy's life and he starts to take care of that kid, he's going to get emotionally invested into that child. And then the woman can just take that away from him at any time. And he's not even allowed to properly discipline the child because he's not the child's father. So it just puts him at a disadvantage in his own household. And a lot of times women don't understand, if you want to have a happy relationship, the guy got to come first, right? The guy has to come first before your child. And it's hard to do that with a guy that's not your child's father. It's more so easier for a woman to do that when she has a husband and she understands the hierarchy, God, purpose, self. She understands the man's hierarchy, and then the family hierarchy is God, man, woman, children. If she understands that, then it's going to be good. But a lot of times, women are very, even if they will give that to a guy that's not the child's father, usually they are very slow to do that. And then a lot of times they do that, they give the man his proper place in the hierarchy, and then it's the wrong guy though. It's the guy that's gonna like abuse her and abuse the child, and not be there for them emotionally and financially like he's supposed to. A lot of times women just do that stuff for the wrong guy. But let's see what some of these women saying in the comments. Single mom dating is hard and super exhausting. Like, literally, if you're a single mom, it's like, especially if you got a young kid, it's gonna be exhausting. It's gonna be exhausting because your options are limited. You don't have the options that you had when you were 18, 19, 20 years old and didn't have kids, right? You just don't have the same options. A lot of men are gonna shy away from it. I know me personally, I tell guys, like, if you're a young single guy, don't go mess with a single mom. Like, do not go mess with a single mom. It's bad for business. It's gonna put you, like I said, at a disadvantage in the relationship. You also deserve better. Like, you deserve better. You deserve to have your own family. Now, if you're a guy, I'd say like 35 plus, and maybe you already have a kid. Also, that's a whole different situation. But as a young guy, you should not ever date a single mom. Like, I made a whole video on why you shouldn't, and why it's probably one of the worst mistakes a guy can make is to date a single mom and then have a child with that single mom. And it's like, a lot of these women, they don't have accountability. They don't learn from their relationships. Like the guy, someone said it might be her, right? And she kind of accepted that, but it's like, are you willing to do the inner work and make the necessary changes that you need to make to have a good relationship, right? You got to be able to do the work. Everybody who like, even me, I look at my past relationships. It's easy for me to find my fault and accountability in my relationships. I was a cheater, man. I was a cheater. I was someone that I didn't value. I didn't value loyalty from my side of the relationship, right? I didn't think it was something important, right? I thought it like, I'm being a good boyfriend in all other aspects, but it's certain reasons why my relationships are failing and why I'm always end up leaving them, right? Yeah, I had to do the inner work on that one. And it's like, if she sits down, she does the inner work and understands like, well, yo, like, something is the common denominator in these failed relationships. And maybe it is me. And a lot of times when women start talking about their standards, that's probably the problem in the relationship. Like, that's their standards. It doesn't meet their reality. And guys, our standards have to meet our reality, right? It's no other way around it, because if we don't, we're gonna be lonely, right? We're gonna be lonely. A woman can have unrealistic standards for a lot of her life, and she'll be in this type of situation where at least she'll get relationships. A man with unrealistic standards, he's not going to get a relationship. He has to go out, work on himself, become a better man, and then he can raise his standards once he does become a better man. Women, for whatever reason, they feel like they don't have to do that. They feel like, it's okay. Have your standards. Don't change yourself. You don't need to work on yourself. The guy just needs to accept you for in all your bullshit that comes with you. And it's like, men are smarter nowadays. We're not dealing with this BS, man. We're not dealing with this BS. But so I did have to, give y'all, if any single moms watching this, like, it's not no smoke with y'all. It's not no smoke with y'all at all. I just, I got my opinions, and I know y'all got y'all opinions, and it's all good, right? It's all good. But let me know what y'all think about this, man. Like, dating as a single mom. And it's like, me, I got like first-hand experience. Like, me and a lot of my friends, some of them have, like, I've dated single moms, right? I dated single moms. I always, like, before I got too deep in, I was out, right? I was out before I got too deep in, because it was always ingrained in my mind since a kid, like, I don't need to be having a serious relationship with a single mom. So anytime we got close to like, oh, you're gonna meet the kid, I was gone. And I got a lot of friends that did date single moms. I got friends that are in relationships with single moms now, or they had kids with these single moms and they're not with the single mom, right? So I've seen all aspects, and I also, have women in my family that are single moms. So it's no smoke with y'all at all. I just, love to come up here, give my thoughts, give my opinions, and I like to see what you guys think also, and sometimes I like to trigger y'all. So as always, love y'all. I'm out.